Okay, so here we are. This is a re-upload of the VERGE shitty PC build. This is a request by my autistic friend Will. Very talented and very cool person. And this is a case. And this is a very intimate position with that case. Check out those bracelets. Let's go.
So a few years ago, TC, or managing editor, built a gaming desktop, but...
Okay, but first of all, like, how can you, like, enunciate so much without moving anything on your face? It's very
It's kind of out
cool,
of date,
I
and
guess.
it's definitely not going to hold up for...
Why doesn't he move his mouth? That's gonna break my brain more than the rest of this video. I know what's coming. I've already seen this before.
Battlefield 5. So, let's build a new one. You can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000, but I want to go...
You could go less than that. You can go higher than that. It's
all
not,
out, so I spent around $2,000. PC like this is going to be able to play most games at ultra settings. So, what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table. Preferably not metal.
No, I've done shit. Fuck you. I've built several PCs on the ground.
If it's going to be metal, have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it.
Bitch, that is, like, that's debunked. Debunked, bitch.
Thermal paste applicator, an Allen wrench, some tweezers to tighten up the wires.
This is my favorite part.
Swiss arm
Tweezers? Those are tweezers? Those are tweezers. Those are tweezers. Go again.
applicator, an Allen wrench, some tweezers to tighten up the wires.
Tweezers! Tweezers. Tweezers. Okay, let's go.
A Swiss Army
let's
knife,
go.
which hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
Why the fuck do
And
you need a
last but
Swiss
not
Army
least,
knife?
An anti-static bracelet, which is...
Bitch. You don't need that. Like, it, and also, probably doesn't do anything. Guess what? If you want to fucking de-static, you're scared about it? You're scared about it? That's alright. You're scared about it? Fucking touch the case. Life hack.
to protect you and the parts. These are
Touch metal.
the parts you're going to need, but more importantly, before we get there, we need to understand what these parts are doing and how they interact with one another. To better understand the parts that make up a desktop, let's try to understand them individually.
I
The
want to
processor is
skip
like the
this, and I
computer's
just want to
brain,
get to the
a base
build.
of calculations that control everything the computer does.
I wanna
The
get to the
motherboard
building.
is like the foundation, serving as a main structure for all of
Okay.
the parts to be added to. It also allows the other parts to communicate with one another,
Okay.
which also makes it kind of like a nervous system. Graphics cards are responsible for rendering and processing visuals. Into are supplied
I
and
just
provided.
wanna skip.
and
I'm
long.
gonna
A
skip.
gamer
I'm gonna
might
skip.
feel a
I'm gonna
budget
skip.
build
Wait,
rather than,
I
say,
wanna
a
talk.
video of short-term and long-term memory, respectively. If you want to better understand what kind of computer to build, then first figure out what you want to use it for.
Hold on,
Or
I gotta
random
see this.
access memory. And your hard drive are good examples of short-term and long-term memory.
Okay,
You'll be able to
fine.
scale
Fuck
back
it.
the cost
Let's
of
just
several
go.
other parts. And if you need help, you really
He probably
need
had like a
elect
writer and
back the
helper
cost of
on that
several other
one.
parts.
I don't
Sort
know.
of part conflicts you might have.
Okay,
There's a
come
lot of PC
on.
parts, so it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you really
Why would you unbox everything? I would never do that. I go one by one, stay fucking clean, whatever.
need, place items into the case, and make sure that they all fit, and
This
then
is a
start
tiny
working.
ass stupid
And now we're really
ass
going to start
case.
building by adding the motherboard in. Some notes about installing motherboards: they're really delicate. You should be really careful with them. And screw in with confidence, but also don't screw in too hard, otherwise you could crack the board. I chose Asus's Z370 motherboard for two main reasons. One, it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and also it has support for NVMe SSDs, meaning you can get really fast SSDs that are really easy.
And is that the only things that you looked for? Like, did you... That's the same exact mistake I was forced to make. Like, do research on your fucking motherboards, please. And always, when you're building computers, think of it like buying a house or something. Like, you want space to grow, you know? Ask yourself these questions. Do I want to have a dual GPU? Fucking, like, think what is possible in the future. Make sure your motherboard that you pick aligns with your dream future, okay?
To install, pay close attention to the brace that goes at the
brace,
back.
the brace. It's an IO shield. It's an IO shield. And by the way, I will tell you a little bit about my experience last time building a PC. I built a PC for my dad. Make sure you put the IO shield in first, probably. Just do it first. Just fucking do it first, please. Because you're gonna fucking forget about it, and you're gonna have like this fucking radiator, and those screws were fucking with you the whole time, and it's gonna be so hard, and for some reason everything's going wrong. You're not going to want to undo everything to put on that brace IO shield, okay? IO shield
of the computer. You always have to make sure that you really hammer it in.
Yeah, so at least he's putting it in first. I made that mistake where I didn't think about it until the fucking end. So whatever.
Because there's no screw, it really just has to go outside of the case and clasp onto the frame. And this is very important because otherwise you can't align the motherboard correctly.
Do you guys remember the days where cases didn't have like these built-in standoffs? This was my that's last PC build. I experienced the new life of having built-in standoffs. It was very cool, very cool. But I bet you this bitch would probably forget about him. He's not even like fucking... And that's the thing. Like, if you're making a PC building tutorial, right? Talk about that. The standoffs are like fucking so important, but whatever.
Installing all 8 screws. So next we're going to install the RAM on the motherboard.
Okay, and listen, that is not what you should probably do to make your life easier. Build everything, like put everything in. Put the shit in. Out of the case. Why would you make it harder for you to like, because CPU, it still scares me it scares me, you know, because that's like very important, and even though it's just like simple, you just put it down and you just fucking push it down. But why would you make it more difficult to do what you have to do by confining the space? That whatever, just build everything on the motherboard as much as you can and then put the whole fucking thing in. You know what I'm saying?
I chose Corsair's 16GB Vengeance LED RAM for 2 main reasons. One, it has LEDs and we do like lights in our gaming desktops. Secondly,
why though?
It's pretty fast RAM. It's 2,660 hit.
That is very super average. Oh, I muted it.
Megahertz, I believe. So it's pretty fast, and this motherboard supports that speed.
What did he say? What did he say?
Megahertz, I believe. So it's pretty fast, and this motherboard supports that speed, which is most important. Open the slots.
Every board supports that speed.
First, and just aligning the stick with the middle
sure,
of
there's
the
probably
script,
some out there that don't,
just
but
lining that up with
that's
the logo.
like the standard fucking shitballs. That's the standard speed. Welcome to RAM.
So once you hear that solid clasp and you don't see the gold connectors on the side anymore, that's when you know the RAM is in.
Why don't you... Hello? Pause. Pause. Why don't you talk about, like, the little slit? Like, you're doing a building fucking tutorial. Like, explain it. You just you just put it in.
Or in this case, the NVMe SSD. I chose this format of solid.
You chose a key. What? I don't know the technical term for that. Like, it's, why? I think it's, isn't it slower? I have to look into that more, but this is weird to get this one. If I'm seeing this correctly and I'm thinking that it's that key one, I think it's called key or something.
Drive, so that I could input it into the motherboard without having to worry about extra wires or putting it in a separate part of the case and just getting really messy. This is from Kingston, and it's 480 gigabytes, so it's not a lot, but you can always upgrade this and swap it out.
I think
it's only held down by one screw
something
and
or
a latch,
something.
so it's really simple and really straightforward.
Okay.
Speed for gaming is important when it comes to a hard drive.
There's going to be something that happens.
You want games to load quickly, so that's why it's best if you use an SSD.
I'm going to tell you, because he forgot to put the standoff. You put a standoff, and the thing is, it comes with your motherboard. It does. It's in the box. look for little tiny fucking standoffs for a little tiny screw to go in. Don't fucking screw in like your fucking operating system usually at an angle. Why? Why bend it? You know what I mean? Like, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Step 4, we're going to install the graphics card. I chose PNY.
Why would you install the graphics card? Why would you install the graphics card first? It makes 0 sense. 0 sense. Now you are making it even more difficult to do what you have to do on the board. I understand why you put in the RAM. That's just simple. Fucking ship it. Let's go. But this is a hunk of junk, right? Fuck you, dude.
It's GTX 1080, which is overclocked. And so it's a pretty easy install.
What about, because you have like cooling coming somewhere, right? I usually do my radiators last. But the CPU, hello, it's stressful for me, and I've been doing this shit for like 13 years. Just don't do this.
Installation, you're just going to find the gold connectors, and you're going to line this bracket with the back end bracket of your PC case. Now, which lane you choose depends entirely on what other parts you're going to put in the system.
Okay, kind of right.
I'm just going to pick the top one.
Not really. No, what am I thinking? No, it's always, you always put it on the fucking fastest one. You always put it on the fastest one. It's not going to, fuck you, bitch.
Because the SSD is at the bottom and I don't want to cover it. I just think it looks
nice. So what again?
Top one because the SSD is at the bottom and I don't want to cover it. I just think it looks nice.
Well, great fucking stumbling guess. You just think it looks nice? Well, that's the one to do because of the speeds. Dumbass.
Click down. Take your remaining brackets and just put them in the spots that you haven't used. You don't have to screw these in. They get bolted down by the back end bracket. And your GPU is installed. Power supply time. I chose Corsair's 850 watt power supply because I need enough headroom for ray tracing GPUs when they come out, and I don't want to have to upgrade it again. So all you have to do is take the brick.
Hello.
And
pause. That is very, very, very good advice, and exactly what I was talking about earlier. Like, give yourself room to grow, but you're just thinking about the power supply. There's all sorts of things that you have to look for to know what is possible in the future for you, and make sure that you're not going to fucking get like, I can't do this because I picked these parts. Don't do that. I've done that.
Make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads so that the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
It's in a case. It's in a fucking enclosure. It's in an enclosure. It's in an enclosure. Like usually metal enclosure. Like, why? Okay, those little bracket, those little standoff things, is because you're going to need, like, it's nicer for the fucking air to go through. So just a little bit of room for the air. You know? You know what I'm saying? Okay.
So just take it in, slide it in nice and easy until you have a snug
and
fit.
He's putting the fan fucking facing this wall, I guess? This fan facing the wall. So he just wants it to overheat and die. I guess this is next level, because I wanted to watch this again for this specific part, because I have installed my power supplies. Usually mine are because I have an old case, but mine are never sideways. Mine have never been sideways ever. Never been sideways. So I was assuming, just because that's what I know, because I knew something he did with the power supply was wrong, but I just assumed that maybe he had the fan going up into the case. I've done it. Flip it down so all the hot air goes out, shoots out, right? Flip it over. And then, because they usually have fucking, like a fucking hole for the air to go out. But guess what? This little fucking back wall is all the other side where your cables go. So this, he's putting it against a fucking solid piece of metal. So where's that air gonna go? Go ahead and play, you fucking
Get
bitch.
to the back and make sure it's right up against the frame. Now you just take the required screws and you
I'm
tighten
hungry and I'm
screw
angry
in.
right now.
So next step, we're going to install the CPU cooler. In this case, it's going to go on the top end
Oh,
of the case.
did the
and we're
CPU
just gonna
already
have
happen? Where did the
hose
hello? Hello? Did you install the CPU? Did I miss it? Oh, he does the CPU last. Oh my god.
hang out for a little while until we install the processor, which is going to come a little later. Always be sure to try to place it in the system.
I mean, I guess I understand why he would, like... No, I don't understand this at all. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be
before you
nice.
install it, because you can see it takes up a lot of space. But in this case, no pun intended, it fits in perfectly, and we're gonna start screwing it in. And so there's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame of the cooler, and they take forever.
Wait.
So next up, cables. Every power supply is going to come with a
something
big bag of
that's
Velcro cables.
not-
It's
okay,
kind of daunting at
what is
first, so
going
you always
on
have to
with
find
that?
the ones that are
Because
going to fit.
can you pause, you bitch?
In this case, you need to match.
It doesn't let me
those
pause when I hit pause anymore. Usually I have just like, it doesn't go through the whole frame. Those long screws are for the fan because the fan is extra space on top of your radiator, right? And then, did he use the wrong screws? Because I honestly have no idea. I have no idea.
cables with the correct descriptions on the power supply. Next step is we're connecting the power supply to the motherboard with a 24-pin cable.
You're just gonna start fucking plugging shit in? Fucking where's the CPU, bitch? What the fuck is
We're
this?
just matching that cable from the motherboard, threading it through the back, and attaching the 24-pin header to the power supply so that we can have one of the connections complete.
What are
The
you
next few
doing?
additions will
Honestly, okay, going back to everything that I've said continuously, why the fuck would you make the most important part more difficult to do? It stresses me out. I wonder, because I've filmed a PC building video. That in itself is stressful because you have to put on a fucking show and still know what the fuck you're doing, type of shit. It was hard. I fucking forgot the IO shield. I fucking installed shit backwards and fucking, it was all over the place, right? Because you're more, like, you're not completely focused on building your computer, right? So I'm giving him some credit. Like, he's in front of a camera. It's stressful, right? I'm not excusing for his fucking whatever. I bet you he was like inside of himself shitting his pants. I'm so ready to get to the CPU.
For any specific ports that the case has, for any lighting that the case has, the CPU cooler, anything else really. We're installing the CPU. Specific ports
tell
that the
me
case has,
exactly
for
what
any
you-
lighting that the case has, the CPU is complete. The next few additions will be for the GPU, for any specific ports that the case has, for any lighting that the case has, the CPU cooler,
What is he even saying? Because I've watched this now, like, I don't know, 3 times, and I still have zero clue what he's saying. He's just, like, saying, like, lighting and... what do you mean? What about him? What about him? What are you saying?
anything else really. We're installing the CPU, the heart of the computer.
And why are you doing it last? Why are you doing it
Or
last?
the brain, depending on how you look at it.
Okay.
So to do this, we're just going to remove the plastic covering that they put on the motherboard.
Okay.
We're just gonna take this little plastic part
He's
out.
shitting his pants right now.
Just
He is
toss that
shit.
out of here.
Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. Save that. I save the boxes. Like, if your shit dies, you need to send it back. You know what I mean? Don't, like, yeah. Save the shit, because shit arrives dead quite often. Okay? Don't do this.
And now we have an exposed CPU holder, or rather slot, on the motherboard. And we're going to use the CPU applicator. This is a special little part.
CPU applicator? What?
Not everyone may
Wait,
get,
what
but this
is
motherboard that we
going
got
on?
from Asus definitely does have. It's called a CPU installation tool. It makes it really useful if
I've never seen that before. Honestly, I've never seen that before. I've never seen where did he get this and what is it? What?
if you want to install a Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got
He's flexing
one,
right
and
now.
it's an 8th generation chip, and it's ready to go.
It's an 8th. That is so funny. In my computer, when was this? I can't remember. This was That's funny. That's just
And
funny.
it supports
I'm sorry.
overclocking. So what having this little
Did he say the
install-
full name?
Yeah, CPU applicators definitely does. It's really useful in hexa-core CPU. It's really useful if you want. Not everyone may get Asus. Definitely does. It's really
Sorry.
useful if you want to install a Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah.
Is that even a model name? That's not a model name. That's not a model name. I don't know that. And I'm an Intel boy. Like, am I just like, I don't think that is, like, is he just making up a name? I think he's making up a, okay.
We've got one, and it's
Let's
an 8th
just see
generation
this
chip,
shit.
and
I'm
it's
ready.
to go. And it supports overclocking.
Okay.
So what having this little installer does for you is it's basically a brace that you can
It's a brace.
apply right to the CPU.
It's another
and
brace
light
because
it
we have a brace on the back of the CP or the case. We have a brace there, and now we have this like special brace that we're going to, because he's shitting his pants and he's trying to make this process less stressful. Guess what? It's always stressful. It's always fucking stressful.
up with the triangles that you'll see on the bottom left corners.
And
And
what
this
are you,
will make it easier
that's
for us to
not
apply
how
it to
you
the
do
motherboard
it. That's
and then apply
not.
thermal
No.
paste and then
What is
apply a
that
CPU
thing?
cooler on top.
What are you doing?
And we're just going to
What are
carefully
you doing? What are you
lean
doing?
it down into the system.
It's not,
and make
honestly, okay, listen. You have pins going down, and then in the motherboard, there's holes for all the pins, right? And there's this little triangle. You just fucking match the triangles. You make sure it's going the right way, right? Very easy to know and tell, right? So those pins go into the hole, and then they have this little fucking metal thing around, and you slap it down. Why would you ever think that a piece of plastic on top of the CPU, putting on the CPU, like, is gonna do anything? It's not gonna do anything. It's just okay.
sure that everything lines up, and we're going to clasp down on it, and we'll be good to go.
Where did it go? Where did it go?
Lean it down into the system.
Wait, where did
this
it
will
go?
make it easier for us to apply a CPU cooler on top. And we're just going to
So
carefully
he goes in with it.
lean it down into the system and
Okay.
make sure that everything lines
And it's not there anymore. So I guess off camera or in a cut, he realized, oh, I just have a little piece of plastic. I don't even know where the fuck he got this thing.
up, and we're going to clasp down on it, and we'll be good to go. So we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU. Every CPU cooler actually comes with a
Okay,
bit of
yeah,
thermal paste.
yes. And this right here, okay, I have thermal paste. I thought about it. I really did. I thought, you know what? Maybe I need more. Thermal paste. But every AIO has paste on it, right? And it's like a fucking machine did that paste. It's beautiful. So make sure you're not being like him and you keep that little plastic on that until you're fucking putting it on the CPU. You don't want to fuck it up, right? Whatever. Anyway, why you don't, don't reach for the thermal paste. The thermal paste is there for reinstallations or fucking whatever. If you have thermal paste, you don't need more, okay? And I will tell you why. You want the fucking CPU to touch the fucking cooler. Because more distance away, they can't do what they're meant to do together. You know what I'm saying? Why would you fucking make it more difficult to get a good contact? Okay? Trust the machines, right? That was like, it was done perfectly. It's so spread, so even, so beautiful. Just plop it down. Just plop it down.
It's already neatly applied in a circle around it.
Yeah, neatly, exactly. It's perfect. It's done by a machine.
But it's usually not enough. It's
usually everything you need. Wrong, false.
Good, essentially PC building practice.
Good? Wait, what?
To have a little bit extra.
Actually, what? No, I just explained this. It's better, obviously, to have least amount of fucking space, resistance, etc. I don't know words right now. Fucking just put it on. Put it on.
And layer it on top of the CPU.
And
the final
never do this.
Portion is to
He's drawing pictures on the CPU. Listen, if you are going to use thermal paste, fucking plop it. Fucking pea-size, barely even pea-size. Fucking little shit out. That's it. In the center, because when you press it down, it spreads. Right? Right. This, let's count.
Practice
Sesame
to have
Street
a little bit
style.
Extra and layer
One,
it on top of the CPU.
2, 3,
final portion
4,
is to add the CPU.
Okay, bitch. Would you technically call that overspec if you're like, oh man, I got so much thermal paste? I don't know.
Cooler to the top end of the processor. So you're gonna see that there are 4.
It's worse than I thought. Holy shit, he just jizzed all over that shit. What in, oh my fucking god.
Bracket.
Holy shit. And by the way, I just remembered he had the first little thing he showed in his collection with his fucking pocket knife and fucking tweezers was a thermal applicator. You're just gonna leave it like that? Like, oh my god. Okay. I forgot how bad this was. I've seen this before. And this is I don't remember how bad this is. I probably had to delete this out of my brain.
Or rather, like screws.
This is crazy.
Here?
He's doing fucking painting. He's painting on his fucking CPU. What the fuck is this?
Brackets and holders right here.
What is this? I can't get over this.
And they're going to keep the cooler raised
and it
off
keeps
the
on,
processor, but
it's just
also
the slowest shot and it just lingers. I need to stop looking at this. This is honestly... This is what, like, hentai girls fucking have on their face type of shit. They're, like...
gonna be close enough to actually physically come in contact with it.
Okay, let's see what he's doing. He is... Why is there only one fan? What is going on right now? What am I looking at? What the fuck? Because I just wanted to look at, like, how he's doing his fucking... What are these called? Fucking cables? Fucking hoses? I don't know. But this is a really weird angle to film this in first. But this is the top of the case. This is a case fan. Okay. And that case fan is, I forget which way. That's pointing out. So that's an exhaust. So that's the, what is going on?
Basically keep it cool. Take thumb screws like this.
No, yeah, that's an exhaust. That's an exhaust fan.
So now that
Wait a second. Where the fuck is that fan, and why is it an exhaust? Where is the back that usually? I mean, okay. Did we get to see the fan installation? Fan installations break my brain, by the way. But hey, pro tip, life hack. There's arrows on the fucking housing for fans. I didn't know this. It's tiny, but it's there. And if you are like me and you doubt yourself, just look for the arrows and you can figure it out. I finally did. Okay, moving on.
our internals are done, we're going to put all the panels back on, which is the top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all this fun stuff.
We didn't plug anything else in. We plugged in the power ATX or whatever, just the 12 pin. Is that 12? 24. What about all the other shit?
Back on, which is the top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all this fun stuff is happening. So we fully built the PC.
And we're done? Okay, so let's look at this cable hose thingy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something that I learned. So think of it like gravity. So this is that where the hose go to on this top thing, that radiator, that's where the tank is. And then it goes down, it's like an endless loop to this CPU. Now think about gravity. So where would, if you were to guess, where would the where would the water want to be? Where would it want to be? It would want to be right here. That's fine, but all of this area is like not filled because this is not like optimal. This is not optimal at all. This is not optimal because you will get air bubbles, and I will tell you that so that cooler or whatever will start to fill with the water or whatever, but the more air bubbles that happen over time, it'll start to sound like an aquarium. This right here it'll be only cooling half of the fucking CPU. So first of all, your AIO is going to die faster, and probably your CPU too, because it's not going to be properly cooled. Anyway, let's continue.
Everything's put together, and we got to the post screen. So what's next? Well, you need a USB flash drive with your Windows installation media on it, and of course a license key. So I plugged that up, installed Windows.
Oh, by the way, you can go on off, like, just, you don't have to buy from Windows. There are people out there that sell license keys for Windows for like $20. I got mine for $16 because I found a coupon code. And yeah, that's the first time I did that. It was really cool. Very cool. Just wanted to say that.
Windows in a couple of minutes, installed a bunch of drivers, and now we have a fully functioning gaming PC ready to run some games. Right now I've got Arma 3 running at maximum settings, native resolution, which is 1080p HD. And it's running pretty smoothly. Like, I'm averaging 70 and 80 FPS, and this is normally like a very intensive game to run. And it's still doing a pretty good job.
Okay, so what's like CPU at? What's your temperatures at? Like, are you just fucking... Is that why you installed your GPU first? It's like, oh, it's just the GPU. It's all but gaming. Gaming is just fucking graphics. No, there's so many things.
So right now I'm playing League of Legends. It's one of my favorite
your temps.
games. I'm actually playing against a bot.
So he just wanted to fucking play League of Legends on this fucking disgusting keyboard. Look at this shit. What is this knob for? Okay.
And I'm
and this curved monitor. I will never have a curved monitor. Oh, and look at this in the background. This cable managed. It's not cable managed. It's so messy. Even when I wasn't trying to cable manage, my shit looks better than this.
So I'm not actually doing so well. But otherwise, like,
You're not doing so well on this fucking tutorial video thing. My God, is this your first time building? Probably.
this is pretty much what you would see me do on
Yasuo, and you're at fucking 10 health, and you dash in,
a gaming
and
computer. Test stuff
don't combo it,
out, and hopefully
you use barrier. Who fucking takes barrier? Go ahead.
have really high frame rates.
And he's still fucking... Who is this? I forget who this is. This is like Poppy or something? I don't know.
Like I am right now.
This is...
I'm averaging
I don't know who that
120
is. I
FPS,
forget.
and that's
I
only
forget.
because I've actually locked.
I've been there where I'm just not thinking. I'm not thinking correctly, and I'm doing like wrong things. Like, you don't stay in lane at fucking 5% health with literally, again, no items. He's playing bots. Is he playing bots? He's playing bots, right? Is that what he said? He said...
Because I can get around 300 FPS playing League on maximum settings, which is a little bit absurd, and you don't really need that, so...
You're not comboing your fucking slashes, bitch. What the fuck is the point of slashing?
I locked it. Building a gaming desktop has been a great experience. I'm able to max out a lot of my favorite titles, and I'll be able to play a lot of upcoming titles like Battlefield 5 and Cyberpunk 2077.
What are these glasses? They're yellow. They're yellow. They're yellow. Fucking nerd.
Without...
A bracelet looking ass. Fucking yellow frames and it blocks the blue light. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Worrying
fuck
too much
you.
about the parts I have. When ray tracing GPUs come out, for example, I'll be able to upgrade without having to buy a completely new system.
You probably will have to. You're probably going to have to buy a power supply, AIO, CPU. Maybe you can keep the motherboard. I don't know. It's going to happen. This is dangerous and fucking not good. Your CPU, check your temperatures. What the fuck?
And if I have a problem down the line, I can always just swap out a part and have it serviced rather than losing my whole computer.
Have it serviced? But you threw away just fucking yeeted that shit out of there. Like, how are you going to the fucking manufacturer, or are you going to like Bob's Builder for PC parts or something? What the fuck?
Computer. And of course now we also have a computer to test and benchmark games here at the Verge.
What a joke. What a joke. This was for Will. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am sorry that I was supposed to have that building. I had a new channel. It was called The Dumbass Guide. And that video was a wash. Like, we didn't even get the fucking end of this computer building process filmed because all the batteries died. And we were sitting, waiting for them to charge, and it just fucking died again. And I was over it. I just fucking built. The rest of it, that's a wash. Jamie is going to be building his very first PC very soon. Sooner than... soon, I hope, because his fucking laptop just shuts off playing COD. Like, it's time to fucking... Ugh, he has a 28-inch monitor fucking plugged into a laptop. I'm tired of fucking being in love with this, okay? It's not acceptable. So, I'm gonna get a redo of that PC building tutorial, and I want it to be fucking easily understandable, because I am a dumbass, and if I can do it, anyone can. So that's why it's Dumbass Guide. Maybe it'll happen soon, I hope. I don't know. We'll see when Jamie gets his computer. Oh, God. But he's being a fucking bitch ass, and everything, it's a white build. He is dead set on it. And listen, I understand that. Like, it's your dream PC. Fucking live your life. Be you. Be fresh. Be new. That's fine. But it's getting a little excessive because he's only looking for this one GPU vision, and it doesn't even matter the model. That's the thing. The white matters more than everything to Jamie. Don't tell him I said this, but he'll learn someday. He will learn someday. This is going to be his first PC, and I'm super excited to have a real PC gamer as my boyfriend. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. This has been 40 fucking minutes. Okay, I'm uploading a 40-minute video. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Had a good time. Let me do a proper sign out. What up, bitches? I'm working on my album. It's coming soon, bitch. Bye.